soil, or regolith, rarely more than a couple of centimeters deep.
So,
Thus, on landing, the lunar module would have not blasted a
sorry,
crater, but merely displaced a small amount of dust. But what about the lack of a gigantic billowing dust cloud? Well, on Earth, dust clouds are caused by fine dust particles becoming suspended in the air. In the absence of an atmosphere, dust does not billow, it simply falls to the ground at the rate of gravitational acceleration. But more on that in a bit. And speaking of dust, according to the conspiracy theorists, the remarkable crispness of the footprints the Apollo astronauts left in the lunar soil is only possible if said soil contains water, proving that the photographs were taken on Earth and not on the dry, airless lunar surface. But this argument ignores the unique properties of the lunar environment. The lunar regolith is produced over millions of years by the continual bombardment of the lunar surface by meteorites. Once settled on the lunar surface, the regolith is acted upon by the solar wind and other high-energy subatomic particles, further breaking it down into fine and extremely sharp and jagged particles. The bombardment also imparts the dust particles with a strong electrostatic charge, allowing them to come together much like damp soil does on Earth. Indeed, this property proved a major problem for the Apollo astronauts as the charged, highly abrasive dust stuck to everything, including the astronauts' spacesuits, and it wore down and damaged a great deal of sensitive equipment. This electrostatic cling, along with the lack of flowing water, winds, and other erosive forces on the lunar surface, also means that the astronauts' footprints will likely remain crisp and perfectly preserved for millions of years until they are finally covered over by slowly accumulating layers of falling dust. While the previous examples are relatively straightforward to debunk, there still remains the curious phenomenon of the cockeyed shadows in the astronaut photographs. At first glance, this argument appears to indicate that the conspiracy theorists might actually be onto something. After all, if the only light source was the sun, wouldn't all the shadows be parallel? But once again, the solution to this supposed mystery is relatively straightforward, and was famously demonstrated in a 2008 episode of the TV show Mythbusters. In that episode, host Adam Savage constructed a scale model of the Apollo 11 landing site complete with miniature lunar lander and lit the entire scene with a single spotlight to simulate the sun. Savage discovered that the uneven terrain caused the shadows to veer off in different directions, giving the illusion of multiple light sources. But what about the most persistent and seemingly scientific argument against humans traveling to the moon, that the astronauts would have been fried by the intense radiation of the Van Allen belts? To the conspiracy theorists' credit, the Van Allen radiation belts are a very real phenomenon and do pose a serious risk to astronauts venturing beyond low Earth orbit. The twin donut-shaped regions, which lie at an altitude of 600 to 13,000 kilometers for the inner belt and 13,500 to 40,000 kilometers for the outer belt, are the result of the Earth's magnetic field capturing and accelerating high-energy subatomic particles from the solar wind and other cosmic sources. In certain places, the belts are populated by large numbers of protons, with energies exceeding 100 mega electron volts, which would kill a human.
Okay. What? Look at that. The Earth is spinning, and energy is blasting around it from the sun, and the magnetic reaction of our planet is like harnessing that energy as it's spinning and creating this like donut of super particles and energy. That's crazy.
Within minutes. So, how did NASA get around this seemingly impenetrable barrier? Well, by doing just that. Going around it. While certain parts are extremely dangerous, the Van Allen belts are not uniform in density, with outlying zones containing significantly fewer higher energy particles. The belts are also relatively narrow, occupying only a fraction of the path between the Earth and the Moon. NASA planners were thus able to design the Apollo spacecraft's Translunar Injection, or TLI, course to skirt around the edges of the Van Allen belts and avoid the more dangerous zones. The time spent within the belts themselves was also extremely brief, around 60 minutes total for both the outbound and return flights, meaning the astronauts were exposed to only minimal amounts of radiation. The spacecraft itself also incorporated.
That's crazy. Well, I guess the only reason we know about like that it's dangerous is because we sent like animals and monkeys and dogs to go figure this shit out. And honestly, that's crazy that we were able to figure out like the thin spots of energy that exist.
incorporated a great deal of radiation shielding in the form of aluminium plates, instrument panels, and propellant and oxygen tanks, further reducing the crew's exposure. Indeed, the astronauts' total exposure upon returning from the moon was found to be 0.46 rads, equivalent to 46 chest x-rays. Thus, while the Van Allen belts were indeed a known and serious hazard, with a little planning, this obstacle was easily overcome, almost as if NASA has a lot of people working there who know exactly what they're doing. But while debunking these common arguments clearly reveals the flimsy evidence on which most moon landing conspiracy theories are built, ultimately all this proves is that if the moon landing was faked, NASA did not make any obvious mistakes. It does not definitively prove that the Apollo landings actually took place. So how can we physically confirm in the present day that humans actually walked on the moon? One method is to shine a laser at the moon. All 6 Apollo missions deployed a piece of equipment called the Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments Package, or ALSEP, an automated laboratory for studying the lunar environment. Powered by a radioisotope thermal generator, or RTG, the ALSEPs were designed to remain on the lunar surface and transmit data on seismic activity, subatomic particles, and other phenomena back to Earth. In addition to the main ALSEP package, Apollos 11, 14, and 15 also deployed a device known as the Lunar Laser Ranging Experiment, or LLR, a small array of corner retroreflectors that reflect light back in the direction it arrives. These were designed to allow scientists to accurately measure the distance between the Earth and the Moon. To accomplish this, a powerful laser, such as the Apache Point Observatory Lunar Laser Ranging Operation, or APOLLO, in New Mexico, is fired at the LRRs on the lunar surface, and the time for the beam to bounce back is measured. Given the extreme distances involved and the small size of the target, actually hitting the reflectors is something of a challenge, which scientists liken to using a rifle to hit a moving dime 3 kilometers away. Furthermore, only a very small proportion, about 1 in 1 sextillion of the photons fired at the moon, make it back to Earth and require specialized sensors to detect. Yet, despite these challenges, using the LRR, scientists are able to measure the distance to the moon with an accuracy of a few millimeters, the equivalent of measuring the distance between Los Angeles and New York to within the width of a human hair.
Wow.
This extraordinary accuracy has allowed science.
So not only were we able to go to the moon, we were able to deploy very specific equipment in order to measure the exact distance from the Earth's position to the moon's position to the difference of about the width of a human hair. That's mind-blowing. It's like, whoa. Just wow. Like, how? Like, what? How? Wow. Whoa. Like, That's crazy.
Scientists to determine, among other things, that the moon has a liquid core, wobbles about its axis, and is gradually moving away from the Earth at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters per year.
Oh no, I'm a peasant. You have to be exposed to the ads because I'm a peasant.
Hi, it's Sabrina.
Oh no, another
We've been in
peasant
business for
ad.
over 30
Oh
years and now
god,
have
the
a new
peasant
location.
ads. Alright.
The LRRs continue to be used for research to the present day, the only part of the Apollo ALSEP still in working order. While the existence of the LRRs should theoretically confirm the reality of the Apollo missions, unfortunately, in this case, history does give the conspiracy theorists a plausible out, for the Apollo LRRs are not the only retroreflectors on the moon. In 1970 and 1973, the Soviet Union landed 2 robotic Lunokhod rovers on the lunar surface. In addition to television cameras, spectrometers, soil probes, and radiation detectors, the Lunokhods also carried laser retroreflector arrays, which continue to be used for experiments alongside the Apollo LRRs. Thus,
That right there is a really cool concept. Like that style of art right there, that's like early 90s space age concept art, is probably one of the coolest shit that I can think of in terms of like modeling concept art. It's always so expressive, but in like a hyper realistic form. But well, not hyper realistic, like hyper abstract form. Like it's getting you the most of what it's trying to tell you in the most creative yet technical way possible, and that's really cool. I like that design.
Presence of retroreflectors on the moon does not definitively prove that humans set foot there, simply that humans definitely managed to get things to the moon. But if seeing truly is believing, then why not send a spacecraft to photograph the lunar surface and bring back direct photographic evidence of the Apollo landings? Well, this is exactly what NASA did in 2009 when it launched the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or LRO, into lunar orbit. While LRO's primary mission is to map the lunar surface and help find suitable sites for future manned and unmanned missions, in the course of this mission, the spacecraft passed over and photographed the landing sites of all 6 Apollo missions. These photographs, taken from altitudes between 20 and 165 kilometers above the surface, clearly show the hardware left behind by the astronauts, including the lunar module descent stages, the ALSAP instrument packages, and the Lunar Roving Vehicles, or LRVs, as well as the extensive patterns of tracks left by the LRVs and the astronauts' feet. Of course, conspiracy theorists will inevitably claim that these photographs were faked, but spacecraft from China, India, and Japan have also independently photographed the Apollo landing sites. Why any of these nations would play along with a 60-year-old American hoax is not clear. But if even that doesn't convince you, then allow us to reveal our trump card, the ultimate evidence that humans did actually walk on the moon and that the entire Apollo program was not in fact faked on a soundstage: the dust. For the Apollo 15, 16, and 17 missions in 1971 and 1972, the astronauts were equipped with the Lunar Roving Vehicle, or LRV, a folding, electrically powered moon buggy that allowed them to explore a greater area of the lunar surface. Footage of this vehicle driving around on the lunar surface reveals a curious phenomenon. The dust kicked up by the wheels simply falls back in a straight line rather than billowing as it would on Earth, and it also falls far more slowly. This makes sense, as the moon has no atmosphere and air is required for dust to billow. Lunar gravity is only 1/6 as powerful as that on Earth, meaning that objects accelerate toward the lunar surface at only 1.6 meters per second squared. Well, so what? You might be asking, how does this prove that humans walked on the moon? To understand why, consider what it would have taken to fake this footage on a soundstage. Simulating the motion of particulates like smoke, fog, and dust is one of the most difficult challenges in movie visual effects, so much so that even today's most powerful CGI rendering software struggles to achieve realistic-looking results. Faking the dust would have thus been far beyond the capabilities of analog 1970s visual effects. Indeed, even 2001: A Space Odyssey, whose special effects are often cited by conspiracy theorists as evidence that director Stanley Kubrick helped fake the moon landings, doesn't bother to accurately depict the behavior of dust in a vacuum. In an early scene where a spacecraft touches down on the moon, the dust billows just as it does on Earth. Thus, to achieve a realistic dust effect on Earth, NASA would have had no choice but to film a full-sized lunar rover, or at the very least a remote-controlled model, in an enormous vacuum chamber, a truly monumental undertaking. To be fair, NASA does operate a large number of vacuum chambers for testing spacecraft prior to launch, and the cost of building a vacuum soundstage would have been significantly lower than actually going to the moon. But even if NASA had gone to such extraordinary lengths to get the behavior of the lunar dust just right, there would still be the problem of gravity. While the reduced weight of larger objects like astronauts themselves could theoretically have been simulated using cables and counterweights, the slow fall of the lunar dust would have been all but impossible to fake. In order to replicate both the effects of vacuum and reduced gravity simultaneously, a hypothetical vacuum soundstage would have had to have been mounted in an aircraft such as NASA's infamous KC-135 Vomit Comet and run through a series of parabolic arcs while the cameras rolled, all to achieve a physical effect that most of the general public would not have even noticed. That's not to mention, in all of this, once again, the Soviets would have liked nothing better than to embarrass the US by revealing that the landings were a hoax. Yet, like the rest of us, but with far more sophisticated equipment than a TV, they closely monitored the spacecraft and every other facet of the manned missions to the moon. As you might imagine from all of this, given the incredible scope such a deceit would have had to entail, spanning hundreds of thousands of individuals, virtually all of whom would have had to have been ignorant of the hoax and thus actually doing the real work that would have put a man on the moon, when all things considered, it actually becomes easier just to go to the moon than to fake it. But all the material and historical evidence aside, the real question when it comes to moon landing conspiracy theories is this: if Apollo 11 was fake and only intended to win a propaganda victory, why then were the follow-up missions? If the Apollo program was meant to showcase America's technological superiority, why did 2 missions, Apollo 1 and Apollo 13, end in near or total disaster. And if all the landings were faked, why did NASA stop at only 6? Viewed objectively with all its triumphs, tragedies, and random twists of fate, the history of the Apollo program and the US space program as a whole reads far more like actual messy reality than some carefully orchestrated propaganda hoax. But regardless of logic or evidence, some people simply believe what they want to believe and don't bother to ever look deeper into the actual hard data on an issue. And so it is that the moon landing conspiracy theory among...
And I can attest to that. You see, I don't like talking about religion much, but God and Jesus, probably the most peachiest of the fruits that exist out there that make it easy for us as creatures to like be okay with certain things in life. Oh, somebody died. It's God's will. Oh, this natural disaster occurred. It's part of this greater plan. It's what some people in the psychological world like to call thought terminating concepts or thought terminating cliches. As in, if you have an excuse to not think about it, people will often take that excuse. And unfortunately, that has repercussions that end up with long-standing conspiracies, much like that, the moon landing conspiracy. Some egghead found an excuse to not go into the complex nature, the thought process of all these mechanical engineers and mathematicians, and instead decided to terminate all thought and just come to the conclusion that it was faked. Similarly, we have a lot of people who don't want to go into the nitty-gritty, thought-provoking pattern of trying to find an appropriate way to live life, or the appropriate way to govern people, or the appropriate way to experience pretty much any facet of life. Instead, we're okay with the thought-terminating process of saying, you know, it's inflation. It's the will of the government. They're there to kind of help us out. It's just the way we've always done things around here. You know, it's shit like that that kind of continue the nature of it being okay for things to be bad. The thought-terminating cliches that exist all throughout every facet of life. And it's really unfortunate.
Among countless others that are also relatively easily debunked with even a cursory dive into the issue, doesn't seem likely to disappear anytime soon. Given the surprising longevity of William Casing's harebrained ideas and the growing popularity of some of them in an era when more information than ever is available for people to look up and disprove the hoax theory, it is truly a case of one small step for a man, one giant leap for willfully ignorant kind. But it doesn't have to be this way, and we shouldn't accept it. Knowing actual facts and listening to and properly interpreting data is insanely important to countless aspects of all of our lives and civilization in general. And even when we lack sufficient data to make a clear decision on a given thing, if we as a society at least all agree on a core set of facts, we're going to come up with solutions that are more amicable to all sides, which is, again, good for everybody.
I agree. That's some words to live by. And now for some ads that would have been banned today.
Will you make something better? Create something new?
Oh no, the peasant ads! The peasant ads! Oh my god, the peasant ads! It's not even in good resolution, these peasant ads.
The new $2 cheesy
Oh my
beef
god!
burritos. A 3-cheese blend
I'll
with
never
milky
forgive
nacho
the
cheese sauce and double the
Japanese.
seasoned beef. And it comes in spicy. It's like we read your mind. Try the new $2 cheesy double beef burritos now at Taco Bell.
They're now at Taco Bell.
These are genuine ads from the last century. If you have a sensitive nature, some of these ads may disturb you.
Heck yeah, it's time to be disturbed.
You've been warned. These are ads of the past that would be banned today.
Everybody knows that Winston tastes good, like cigarette should. Yeah.
In the 1800s, major drug companies were promoting the legal use of highly addictive narcotics.
Hell yeah.
Until 1970, you could buy some over-the-counter narcotics without a prescription for the
Cube
common cold.
morphine.
Ads for the popular drink Ovaltine use the adjective gay to describe their product as lighthearted and carefree, not as a reference to homosexuals.
Neat.
Then there were many ads that downgraded women, saying that they were plotting to catch a man using taste-tempting treats.
Interesting.
Many ads used racial stereotypes, with blacks talking in a slang dialect that was used to sell various products. Newsflash, name change of the week. Oh, thank God they changed their name.
I'm having technical
Newsflash, Name
difficulties.
change of the week.
Lossy. Folks. Show cheerful, fluffy, energizing Aunt Jemima pancakes.
Then there were select.
I'm sending Chesterfields to all my friends. That's the merriest Christmas any smoker can have. Chesterfield's mildness plus no unpleasant aftertaste. Ronald Reagan.
Celebrities that would tout the benefits of smoking as if it were healthy for you. What better time to start drinking cola? Why, when you're a baby, of course. Be a good mom and give your baby some cola.
Speaking of cola, all right. Philip Morris.
Cigarette presents the Lucille Ball Desi Arnaz Show. I Love Lucy.
Huh.
One of the many benefits of cigarettes in 1881 was apparently a remedy for asthma. You have got to be kidding.
Can't breathe.
German chemist Franz Hoffmann invented both aspirin and heroin within a 2-week period while working for Bayer in 1897. Well, now you know.
Wow.
What can I say about this one? Did they really think this was a good marketing campaign? Shaking my head. Newsflash, name change of the week. Oh, thank God they changed their name. That Lane Bryant really knew how to target their market. Good thing they weren't too insensitive about it. Hey, Paleface. That's right. I'm talking to you, white boy.
Mochi wee Enos. Pale face, my skin is dark, but my heart is white. Ah. Ow. My skin is dark. Hey, pale face, my skin is dark, but my heart is white. Oh my god, that is incredible.
Don't tell me I'm not patriotic.
Dodger Baseball, brought to you by the makers of Lucky Strike, the cigarette that's made better to taste better. Be happy, go lucky strike today.
What's probably not good for your overall health is Camel cigarettes. I'm not sure why these doctors smoke Camels, but I suspect it's something to do with advertising dollars.
Give me that money,
Moms,
money,
babies, and
money.
beer, they go together
How
like bread,
mother-
butter, and tequila.
How mother and baby picked up a case of Blatz beer in your home means much to the young mother, and obviously baby participates in its benefits. The malt in the beer supplies nourishing qualities that are essential at this time, and the hops acts as an appetizing, stimulating tonic.
Tequila, a natural combination.
I mean, to be fair, look. To be fair though, humans have been not all humans, obviously, but a good majority of the human population has evolved to be alcoholic, and those that didn't evolve with the presence of alcohol kind of weaned off of its effects and become much more sensitive to it. But as a standard, the majority of humanity has dealt with alcohol. Or the majority of humanity within its civilized existence. Like, one can make the argument that civilization wouldn't have happened without beer. But then again, the advancement of civilization wouldn't happen without coffee. So there's some things here and there. Being civil does not entirely mean being just or moral. And like sometimes the civilized thing to do is to go at war with your neighbor in order to expand your territory and your land. And that was considered a very civil thing to do back in those days, because it happened a lot. Again and again and again and again and again and again. But anyway, I wouldn't be surprised that like infants develop some type of relationship with the consumption of alcoholic beverages, especially the early lighter brews of beer that existed throughout the early settlement lifestyles of early humans. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll look into the history more
There were
deeply.
like a ton of these racist ones. Bleach your skin so you'll be like the white.
That's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Folk. Hot Point washers and dryers kept your wife happy, pretty, and pregnant. What a bargain for less than $500. Question: what's good for anxiety, depression, the flu, exhaustion, and hysteria? Why, a mixture of herbs, salt, and wine, of course, 1939 style. Who doesn't want to know about Oriental Loveways? 48 full-color photographs, too, for only $2.98.
Oh my
What a
god.
bargain.
That's why I smoke Viceroy. And when you think your way through all the filter claims,
I mean, sex sells,
you come to a
right?
cigarette with a thinking man's filter, a smoking man's taste. Viceroy.
This year, on our 50th anniversary,
Oh no.
future.
Oh no. The privilege. I don't have the privilege. I live without privilege. I'm a peasant. Oh my god, I'm a peasant. Ah, the peasant lifestyle. Okay.
Let's not mince words here. Get right to the
Oh
point.
jeez.
And just think, you can make this happen with no diet, no exercise, and no drugs. Sign me up. What's this? A club in the sky for men only? Where's the ladies' lounge? Isn't United Airlines supposed to bring us all together? Dr. Scott's has one hell of a hairbrush here.
Dr. Scott's electric hairbrush will not save an Indian's scalp from his enemies, but it will preserve yours from dandruff, baldness, falling hair, cures headaches and neuralgia, and is only for $1.
Not only prevents unwanted scalpings, but also prevents headaches, dandruff,
You know, it's shit like this that kind of get the conceptions that Indians were the ones that came up with the idea of scalping, but it was the other way around, really. Colonial Americans came in and started doing the practice, which has like Viking origins, and then they passed off saying that the Indians are doing, like, because the Indians were doing what they were doing. And they're not even Indians, they're really Native Americans, and they have a bunch of different tribes and a bunch of different names, and the history is all crazy, but whatever. It's all crazy. All of this is
and
crazy.
boldness. Wow, cocaine in tablet form, and they're good for hay fever, throat troubles, and sleeplessness?
Oh no.
It's a cure for almost everything. Ladies, if you want a clear, fresh complexion, just eat some of these completely safe arsenic wafers. I think I'll pass. Whiskey toothpaste? I'd be brushing my teeth 10 times a day. But what do you use to get rid of whiskey breath? Here's an ad comparing smoking Philip Morris cigarettes with the feeling of pride at being a new parent. Enjoy the fresh, unfiltered flavor.
And that's just what Camels are. Mild and good tasting, pack after pack. I know, I've been smoking them for 20 years. So why don't you try them yourself? You'll see what I mean.
This is not a good advertisement at all.
So let me get this straight. If
Who'd
you're
believe I was
it's probably
skinny and
because you're
lonely
too
a
skinny
few
to
weeks
eat.
ago?
But don't gain
Jesus.
too much weight, because then you'll be fat shamed. Every woman I know wants a new vacuum cleaner for Christmas. Not. Do they still make Hoovers? Thank God those cigarettes have a nice, soft pillow to kneel on. They deserve a crown. What do you mean if she doesn't give it to you, you get it yourself? I guess you'll just have to buy your own. What's so offensive about a couple of white guys dressed up as Chinese eating a bowl of cornflake?
Homer and Jethro back again on radio, TV, and packages to converse consumers. A concentrated drive to sell considerable Kellogg's cornflakes for you. Kellogg's Confucius say, bigger and cornier than ever. That's what this year's Kellogg's Cornflakes Confucius say promotion is gonna be. Starting in early March, these corn-genial salesmen, Homer and Jethro, will be carrying the contagious humor of Confucius into your customers' homes via heavy saturation spot radio in over 200 markets. On Kellogg's top television shows, including The Beverly Hillbillies and What's My Line, on Kellogg's Cornflakes packages, and into your store at point of sale. Consult your Kellogg's representative for your free Confucius store displays, shelf talkers, and mats. Remember, when Confucius say, grocers who tie in with very corny Kellogg's cornflakes promotion reap considerable profits. I don't even. I gotta go scrub my brain. Oh my God. Confucius, eh?
Why, nothing apparently, if you're Kellogg's. Well, this looks like a good idea. Have your baby shave with your razor before you try it out. If he doesn't cut himself, you're good to go. And last but not least, cocaine toothache drops. It's an instant cure for tooth pain and only costs 15 cents. What a bargain. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Till next time, this is Rich from Rerun Zone, signing off.
That was amazing. And now, off to our regularly scheduled programming. What are you doing? What's going on here? Oh my God! What time is it? Oh no! Oh, that's not bad. Okay. I totally forgot what I was planning So I'll improvise. Oh well. Oh no, oh no, oh no. No, 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 no. Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub as a demon put aside for me. For me. For me. Alright. The Surge. Oh my god. Interesting. There's a new Fall Guys. Fall Guys in 2022. I think I saw Moisty doing that. Moisty. Talk about him like I know him until I know him. Oh, that Moisty boy. Oh, the moisteroos. Oh, the lad doesn't know, does he? That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. That is absolutely fine. It's okay, lad. All right. You know, it's been a while since I played some Dead Cells. But then again... Oh no, I'm being indecisive. Oh no, I wish I had a plan. Yeah, I'm gonna go try make some friends, okay? I think the Apex community is cool. They're nice, sort of. Here we go. Bum bum be dum bum 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 bum. Don't dox me, I'm not very popular. I'm just a gamer boy in a gamer world. Please don't kill me, I'm so scary. I've got an Apex pack. Oh yeah, this feels so good. I feel like I'm home once more. Alright. What? It's gone. Okay. I guess we're going at ranked, boys. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I am selectively choosing my consciousness to be like brain dead. I choose to be brain dead. But it's okay. I don't even know why I'm playing. I don't even know why I begin to do this. I was having much more of an interest in time scrolling the World Wide Web. But I didn't get to play this in a while, so excuse me. Dun dun da dun 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 da dun 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 da dun 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 da dun. Dun na 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 na. Dun na 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 na. Shine. 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 Watch me. All right. I gotta focus. I gotta focus. All right. Where are we at? What are we doing? Shit. Oh, fuck. I need heals. Shit. Shit. Oh, no! Aww. The fuck was up with that? Oh shit, an error has occurred. I killed 2 people. I killed 1, downed 1. I don't understand what the fuck the problem was there. It's Fall Guys, it's Fall Guys. I'm changing my mind all the time. It's Fall Guys. I have no room for consistency. You know, back in my day, when I was a young boy, just a wee lad, just a small snipperoo, a greenhorn, just a little buck, a small lad, just a tiny little fella, just a sort of fella you could look at and be like, you're small. Yeah, back when I was a kid. Just a little lad. Just a small little snip of a young spruce that I am today. Just when I was the fraction of the person I am today. Just when I thought that I had seen it all, I saw some more. Just when I thought I couldn't think of anything farther beyond what it is of my spectrum of thought, my horizon stretched even farther beyond plus ultra. And so I was given the opportunity to grow in that way. But boy, what I tell you, when I was just a little kid, just a young lad, just a snipperoo of the, just a little Joey of a man, just a small little dude. Delicious last course, delicious last course, delicious last course, delicious last course. Here we go. Track attack! How to play. Navigate the obstacles along this perilous racetrack and reach the finish. Gold, place first. Silver, place in the top 20%. And bronze, finish in the top 50%. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. No, I was pushed off. Woohoo! Come on. Come on, buddy. I didn't get first that time. Delicious last course. Delicious last course. Delicious last course. That's stuck in my head. It's such a great way to call DLC. A delicious last course. I thought it was great DLC material. I didn't care that it was so short. I thought it was very well made. Delicious last course. Delicious last course. All right. Top 3. Whatever. That guy has a pretty outfit. He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. Oh, he made it. The Spartan didn't make it. Shame. 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 Wadam bam ba dan down. Wam bam 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 ba dan. Ah ba ba bam ba bam bam ba da boom. Delicious last course. Ba da da dum dum. And so we gotta go do the thing. The thing has to be done. The thing will be done eventually. And you know, I like this. This is fun. It's alright. It's okay. It's not the greatest. But it's alright. I like it. Stomping ground. Avoid the charging rhinos and stay inside the arena until you qualify. Alright. Avoid the bulls. There's 3 of them. They look scary. Ah! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Alright, if I could just keep up this pattern, I'm sure I'll avoid detection. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I lucked out there. Delicious last course. Delicious last course. No! Ah! Oh my god. Oh, 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 no, 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 no! Ah, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. That's some shit of the bull. A bull shite. Sha. What's your problem?
Paperwork.
Yeah, I don't know how long I can keep on doing this.
Why? How long have you been going?
An hour?
You need to go another hour or 2. You think you could do 1 more hour or 2?
I could go all day. I just don't feel the need for it when I'm not. It's not making any money. I gotta make money. Like I like playing games and I like the idea of streaming. But like when there's nothing in it to begin with, right? It's just so hard. It's just not. I don't know. Just the expenses doesn't suit the lifestyle yet. You know what I mean? It's like planting a seed and wanting it to be a fucking tree right now. I want it to be a fucking tree right now. I want tree fruit, but of the Twitch variety.
It's like it got to grow, Paul. You're forcing
it. Grow faster!
Give it time and water and give it some love, you know.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. That's fine. That's okay, right? That's fine. That's fine.